Hi there, it's Kute here, sending you love wherever you are around the world, giving you a shout out from beautiful Los Angeles. And I just got done recording a very special message to my Bali graduates, and I do an event in Bali twice a year called Boundless Bliss, and these are amazing, courageous souls. And I got inspired while recording the message. I wanted to have this blog be inspired by what I shared with them. And so often in our world today, we obsess about success. We worship success. We worship those that have become successful. We abhor failure. Failure is like the enemy. We do everything we can to not fail. But my amazing friends, there is no success without failure. And when you realize that they are really two sides of the same coin, you stop resisting failure. And the moment you are able to embrace failure as a gift, that perhaps failure is the greatest gift that will propel you to your success. Your failure is the greatest gift that will teach you what you need to know. Your failure is the greatest gift that will cause you to learn the lessons so that you can evolve and become the person that you are destined to become and fulfill the potential that's in your heart, so you can become that person that is ready for, that can hold the space for, that is energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally ready to fulfill the vision that you've been given and create success in the 3D world. If you can embrace failure as your friend, if you can embrace the lessons, the gifts in failure, then you transcend, then you actually realize there is no such thing as failure. There is no such thing as failure. There's just opportunities to grow and evolve and to learn. And I believe that the real purpose we're born, the real purpose that we're on this planet is to grow and evolve and learn. Life is a school, life is a university, and our souls have different lessons that we are born here to learn. A different soul's curriculum that you and I are here to learn through, and every single situation, person, experience is the opportunity to learn. So I believe that if you have a vision, if you have a dream, it's not even about making it happen or manifesting it. To me, the manifestation of the dream, the fulfillment of the dream is really the icing on the cake. But I believe that we're given a vision, and that dream you have, whether it's to be an actor, whether it's to be a model, whether it's to build a house, whether it's to make $100,000 a year, whether it's to have kids, meet your loved ones, buy a car, go on vacation, travel the world, write a book, have your book published, whatever that dream is, I believe that that dream is encoded into your soul for a reason. And that very dream is not simply about the materialization of that dream in the physical world, although that's amazing. The real success is the journey, that dream, that vision that's been encoded in your heart, the journey that it will take you on. Your dream will take you on a journey of growth and evolution to evolve and hopefully realize who you really are. What if real success wasn't simply manifesting that dream, but the inherent awakening and realization to your true nature as infinite, to your true nature as not separate from anything and anyone, to your true nature as pure love, pure beingness, as divine? What if that was real success? Sometimes in life we get caught up, once we create success, and many of us, we create a level of success in our relationships, in our work, in our career, on a certain project, and we create a level of success, and we do it over and over again. And the challenge, though, is sometimes when we create that level of success, it's easy, if we're not careful, to get caught up in a routine. We create that success and we do the same thing and over and over and over and over again to maintain that level of success. We get reinforced for that level of success, and people reinforce us, and we get rewarded for being a certain way, for creating that success. The danger becomes if you get really identified with that person, if you get really identified with that person who created that success, you get so identified with that person that you lock down and become so imprisoned by the person that created that success, then there's no more freedom. You become overly identified with that success and who you are as that person that has created success. I believe you stop growing, you stop evolving, you start living in a preset rhythm, you start living in the past. In that moment, you are no longer living connected in the moment, feeling what is most seeking to express through you now. You're actually living in the past program, the past set pattern of who you were and who you became, but no longer who you're seeking to express now. And in that moment, you stop growing, and I believe the moment you stop growing and evolving is the moment you start failing. This is the moment you start failing. That there is a possibility that you could be creating success. You could be succeeding, making money, succeeding on a material level. But if you stop growing, you're actually failing. And I believe that if you're failing, but you are constantly evolving, you are constantly expanding, you're constantly living from your heart, you're constantly living outside of preset, over-rehearsed identities of, identifications of who you thought you were based on the past, but you are evolving and becoming a current 2.0, 3.0, 8.0 evolution of who you are. You're growing and evolving as a human being, become the highest version of yourself, even though you might be failing, but you're taking risks, you're putting yourself out there, then I believe you're not really failing, you're actually succeeding. So sometimes success can be failure if you're not careful, and failure can actually be real success on a deeper level. So the question is, are you really failing, or are you really succeeding? Failure can be the greatest gift, but sometimes it comes gift wrapped that you have to peel the wrapping off to realize the real beauty, the real lesson for why your soul needed to go through that experience. And you learn that lesson, then you succeed. No matter what is going on outside in the world, do not judge your success by the material, but judge your success by who you are becoming inside. And for that, there is no trophy. For that, there is no certificate plaque on the wall that only you will know. And how you'll know is no matter what happens in the world, you will feel happy, you will feel fulfilled, because if you're growing, if you're expanding, if you're breaking out of the preset identities and rhythms, then you'll feel happy, you'll feel joyful, you'll feel alive. When you get locked into a certain way of being that you needed to, we become a certain way that we needed to be in order to create that success, then we become dead while alive. So are you truly, truly alive? So often we look at failure and ask ourselves, what's not working and how can we improve? But I'm actually challenging you to do the reverse, which takes even more courage. Because we often say, if it's working, don't try and fix it, just leave it alone. And that's great, but I say, look at what's working, look at where you're actually succeeding, and dare to ask yourself, where am I succeeding right now, and how am I blocked? Where am I not growing? How is this success perhaps limiting me? What's not working here in the area where you're successful? I say dare to question your success. Then you'll break out, and then you'll tune into the next level of true success that is seeking to happen through you. Then you can truly live in the moment. Many times we're not living in the moment, we're living in the past success, we're living in what we've created before. When you meet your good friend and you get together for tea with your good friend, you don't rehearse that conversation. You don't rehearse, well, when I meet my friend, after 5 minutes when we're having tea, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to tell them this. Or, even in the best love-making experiences with your lover, with your husband, with your wife, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, you don't go, well, last week we made love and it was really amazing. I moved this way and I did this move and she did that move, and when we get on next Wednesday, 5 minutes into our lovemaking, I'm going to do that same move. So I'm going to rehearse that same move, and then 20 minutes into the lovemaking, if we last that long, we're going to do that move. No! The best lovemaking happens when you dissolve, when you get your mind out of the way, when you let the past go completely, when you're not thinking about what worked before, and you're totally in sync, and in that moment you and your partner dissolve, and in that moment you become one, in that moment you become one with the moment, in that moment inspiration and life flows through you. You are so in the moment, you are being lived by the moment. There is no past, there is no future, there's not even now, there just is. There just is. And in that moment, life itself starts to, improvise itself through you. You don't know what's going to happen, But that's when innovation, that's when Michael Jackson level, that's when Gandhi level, that's when Jimi Hendrix level, that's when, you know, that next level of innovation starts to emerge and you become truly, truly alive. Not dead, but alive. So look at your success and dare to question your success. Because when you do, you might start taking more risks, and rather than, because many times success, we can become imprisoned by the success we've created. Because it works, we keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again for 20 years because it works, but we're not growing, we're not happy, we're not fulfilled, we're not expanding, we're not risking, we're not innovating, we're just doing the same thing that works. So question, what works and how is it actually causing me to not grow? And my invitation as you consider success and failure, because ultimately we all want to succeed, but as you consider success and failure, my invitation is that you intentionally ask yourself, what am I really excited about? What's authentic for me? And you go in the direction of your dream. You go where it's scary. You take that risk and you go where it's scary. My invitation is that you dare to fail more. That every single day, if you truly want to succeed, if you truly want to live a bold, radical, abundant, creative life, you dare to go where it's scary, and at least once a day, here's my challenge, at least once a day you fail. You do something each day where you're completely out of control. You do something each day where you don't know what's going to happen, because we often get so good at controlling, so good at succeeding in that way, we know exactly what's going to happen. But my invitation is every day you do something that not only scares you, but where you fail, where you don't know what the outcome is going to be, you don't know what's going to happen, and you put yourself in a situation, because that is the moment where, in that moment of not knowing, in that moment of being out of control, that's the moment, my amazing friends, where life itself, a whole nother stream of potential, a whole nother stream of infinite energy, a whole nother stream of creativity, that's when you'll find out what you're really made of, and you will tap into resources inside of you that are beyond your mind, beyond your conditioning. Life itself will flow through you, and miracles will happen, and you will simply be an observer going, wow, I didn't know I had it in me. But everything you need is in you already. But many times we don't put ourselves in the situation. So I dare you, at least once a day, fail. And in that failure, you will learn. In that failure, you will grow. In that failure, you will evolve and become the person that you've always been all along, to succeed beyond your wildest dreams. There is a gift in failure. Embrace it. I love you lots. Love now.